Hello guys, today we are going to start our discussion on General Ziaul Haq's era that was from 5th July 1977 to 16th August 1988. This was a period of martial law. Pakistan was facing martial law third time within a period of 30 to 35 years. And this martial law was different from the previous martial laws, because this martial law was imposed in presence of a unanimous constitution, that is the Constitution of 1973. And above all, according to the Constitution of 1973, the imposition of martial law is illegal and it's considered as high treason. And anybody who is committed to impose martial law in the country has to face death penalty according to the Constitution of 1973. And why General Ziaul Haq imposed martial law in the country? Although he knew that he was doing something extra constitutional, and his attempt or his act would lead him to the court of law where he would face death penalty even. Then why General Ziaul Haq imposed martial law? And what were the conditions at that time which led him to impose martial law? And an extra constitutional thing which has no legal presence in the constitution become a need of time at that time. So to understand all those questions, we need to learn, or we need to know the reasons behind General Ziaul Haq's taking over. That's your SLO number 8.5.1. Guys, I will remind you again that this chapter is the most important chapter in your course, because your 50% marks are covered, or 50% marks in your paper comes from this chapter only. So let's see the reasons. The first reason was the allegations of rigging in general elections 1977. Second general elections in Pakistan were held in 1977, and these elections were held because People's Party's government came to an end, and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto had dissolved national assemblies, although their constitutional period was not over. Before the end of their period, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto dissolved National Assembly and decided to hold general elections to get fresh mandate. And in elections there were two likely candidates, People's Party and PNA. PNA was an electoral alliance of opposition parties. The results came in favor of People's Party, but PNA rejected those results and said that People's Party did rigging in elections, and they said that People's Party was not supposed to win the elections, but they did rigging and won the elections. The independent observers also believe that the People's Party was a popular party at that time, but still they did rigging. They could win elections without rigging as well, but they did rigging. That's something the independent observers also said. PNA didn't stop by just saying that People's Party did rigging in elections. Rather, they boycotted the provincial elections of 1977. The provincial elections were supposed to held after 3 days of general elections. They boycotted the provincial elections. This attempt was to paralyze the election procedure in the country, because they had condemned and they had rejected the general elections. They were saying that the rigging was done in the general elections, which make the general elections of 1977 null and void. So they were demanding for fresh elections under judiciary and army. They said that the elections should be considered as discarded because they were not fair and rigging element was present in the general elections. So those elections should be considered null, and fresh elections should be held under judiciary and army. At this point, PNA was calling army to enter into the political game. It's not the constitutional duty of army to conduct general elections. Their constitutional duty is to protect the frontiers. PNA was calling the army to come and interfere in political matters and conduct general elections. They were saying that fresh elections should be held under judiciary and army. And their second demand was the resignation of Chief Election Commissioner and Prime Minister Bhutto. Since they were saying that it was the Bhutto who was responsible for the rigging, who did rigging, and the Chief Election Commissioner was supporting him. So these two guys must resign, and the fresh elections should be held without their presence. They were saying that the cabinet should be dissolved, a caretaker cabinet should be established to run the day-to-day business of the country, and the fresh elections should be held under judiciary and army, not under the Chief Election Commissioner, because they were not ready to trust him further. And the moment when Zulfikar Ali Bhutto didn't accept their demand, PNA started a countrywide movement against PPP regime. They arranged sittings and rallies, and sometimes violent element was also present in those rallies and sittings, which created a law and order problem in the country. The law and order conditions were deteriorating day by day because of this movement. Here the role of FSF and Rangers also could not be ignored, because when PNA started a movement against PPP regime, instead of calling them on table talk, PPP decided to crush their movement by using FSF and Rangers. FSF was a paramilitary force that was developed by that was established by PPP in 1970s, and this force was used for political gains on number of occasions. And the Rangers, that is a paramilitary military force. These two forces were used to crush PNA movement, because FSF and Rangers detained number of PNA leaders, and this was something People's Party did to crush their movement. They thought that we will use these two paramilitary agencies to crush them. We will force them to withdraw their movement and accept the results of general elections 1977, but they failed. And when the conditions were too much deteriorated and the law and order condition was out of control, People's Party decided to impose martial law, a mini martial law, on 19th April 1977. This mini martial law, it's a martial law which is imposed just in few cities, or in only one province, or in certain parts of the country. The mini martial law was imposed in Karachi, Lahore and Hyderabad, because they were the epicenters of PNA's movements. And the mini martial law is not unconstitutional, it is constitutional. The article number 245 of the Constitution of 1973 provides some support for mini martial law if the law and order conditions are too much deteriorated and they are out of control for police and other security agencies. The civil government could call army to take control of certain cities. Right? So this is not an unconstitutional attempt, or this is not an unconstitutional action, but still it's not considered good, because this gives a signal to the army, right? This gives a signal to the army so that they could impose martial law in the country. So it's not considered good, but it's not unconstitutional, it is constitutional. When the mini martial law was imposed in the country, People's Party got a bad name, right? Because they were unable to control the situations in the country, the law and order of the country. So they decided to start a negotiation with PNA. They called PNA for negotiations. So their negotiations started, but they were failed. because their charter of demand was not acceptable to People's Party. Almost all points were acceptable except few ones, right? The entire charter of demand was neither unacceptable nor acceptable, because few points were acceptable to People's Party. They accepted that okay, we will have fresh elections under judiciary, right? But they were not ready to accept the resignation of Prime Minister Bhutto. And on the other hand, PNA pressed that. They said that it is the Bhutto who is most responsible for this rigging, and in his presence, they said that fair elections is not possible. So they demanded that Bhutto should resign and a caretaker government should be established. But Bhutto was not ready to resign and to transfer the power to a caretaker government. So the negotiations failed. When negotiations failed, PNA started a fresh movement against People's Party. Now this movement was more violent than the previous movement. It was highly violent because they thought that now since negotiations are failed, so the only way to convey our demand is through strikes, sittings and rallies. So they started a violent movement in the country which deteriorated the law and order conditions of the country. When law and order conditions of the country were too much deteriorated and they became out of control for FSF, Rangers and police, on 5th July 1977, General Ziaul Haq imposed martial law in the country. So, guys, it was the political forces. It was the political forces of the country which provides a path to army to come and impose martial law in the country.